Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Where Rams Walk. This week, we are previewing the grudge match with Middlesbrough and also reflecting back on the trip to Ewood Park. We're doing that with some of Twitter's finest Rams supporters. This is Where Rams Walk. Welcome to Where Rams Walk. We've got Peyton back from last week, but we're also delighted to be joined by Chewis, John, Simon, and from the Rams Review podcast, Chris Holt as well. We have the world's finest, but yeah, we'll go with the world's finest Derby County supporters on one channel for 20 minutes, doing the most comprehensive and quickest review of all things Derby County each week. Please subscribe below and give us a like. Peyton, we're going to jump straight in it with you, if that's okay. Last week on the channel, you spoke very much about the threat that Blackburn could pose, and you weren't half right. What was your view of the game?
I mean, I went, and for the first 20 minutes, I was hating life. We conceded. I was hating life a bit more. And then we came out in the second half, and we were absolutely amazing. We absolutely battered them. And probably until we scored, and then mistake at the back 2-1, mistake at the back 3-1, mistake at the back 4-1. And at that point, I think we left to get out the car park, so didn't see the second goal.
Chris, you've been here, done this a long time with Derby County. Was the scoreline fair?
It was fair on the point of the way Derby played to concede the 3 goals in the second half. We did have better possession, and like Peyton said, we were fantastic for 25 minutes in the second half. The big concern is tactically we're still inept, Mark. That's the reality. We have a manager that can't switch a plan to either shut shop or go for a win, and that concerns me that early into the season.
Thanks, Chris. Simon, there's a lot of worn commentary on Twitter following that result. Is it justified? I mean, there's been a bit in pre-season telling him his football's rubbish. Is it too early to be getting on the manager's back, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it is, but he's got previous at this level, hasn't he, with Rotherham, and he's never proved himself. He's got as many promotions from League One as he has relegations from the Championship with Rotherham. So do I think we'll end the season with one? No, I don't think he's the right man. I think we started that game with the League One style football that we struggled with at times in League One. So we're always going to struggle in the Championship with that level. And then when Blackburn brought on their subs and it showed you the depth they have compared to the depth we have, it was incredible. Like, to give players that room, like Sammy Smoddock's that much room in the box, and the mistakes we was making at the back that's Sunday League level, isn't it? And our midfield is non-existent. The young lad from Palace, he is good, but he was struggling, and it showed he struggled at that level. And he had a big shock, I think, from the comfiness he had at pre-season to playing against a team like Blackburn on Friday night. It showed he's got a lot to do, and we've got a lot to learn from that.
Thanks, Simon. John, not to be too negative because it is the first game of the season. What were the highlights for you in terms of the players that did well? Talk about the positives.
Well, the positives I thought was when we were quite right. We were under the cosh the first 20 minutes. Welcome to the Championship. Bang. It was. And I thought we weathered the storm. And then I thought from their goal, I thought we grew into the game from the goal. I thought individually some of the players stuck out. I thought the lad, Kenzo, was good in the middle of the party, showed some quality. Style of football you could argue, but we all know Paul Ward is going to knock it through the channels and it's going to go wide. But we say that possession-wise, we had more possession than Blackburn. So the difference was for me on the night was they defended their box better than we defended our box, and they were better in that. They attacked their box better than we did. Yeah. So, but positively, there was a lot of effort. There was a lot of drive to. I don't think it was a 4-2 game, but they did have a little bit more quality. The first goal was a good goal. The last three, we'll all agree, the defensive errors. But positively, we can put that right on the training ground, and it will be a big test this weekend against Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll come on to the Middlesbrough game in a second. Just finally on the Blackburn game though, Chewy, in terms of substitutions and in-game management, what was your view on all of that?
Generally, I think the way Paul wanted it. Again, he's had past experience with that. We've also seen Paul warm ball. I think there was a lot of positives. I'm not sitting here saying anything negative about Paul Warren, but I think some of the substitutions made. It's the first game of the season. We're still seeing what we've got. I've seen him through pre-season, not the best pre-season. Still trying to figure out what the best probably three is in that midfield. Switch on, bringing Ben Osborne, just changing the game a bit. Yeah, the substitutions are what they are, really. We did that. The biggest impact from subs was them bringing on their subs. I think.
Yeah. Blackburn are the typical John Eustace side. Hard to beat, hard to break down. Actually, I think all of you have said that first 10 minutes of the second half. I thought it was only going to go one way once you'd equalised. I actually thought you were probably going to go on and look to win this. But can we park the Blackburn game now and let's celebrate Championship football being back at Pride Park this weekend? We'll bring in our Middlesbrough fan now, who is dying to get this derby grudge off his chest, as all the travelling Borough fans will be. Here is Sean. That's the wrong button there. Sean, welcome to the Borough. Welcome to the Borough view. Welcome to the Derby view. The Rams where Rams walk. First of all, well done against Swansea. Impressive performance. Should this lot be worried?
I'm not going to overtalk our chances because the league is what the league is. There's no easy games. I thought we did perform well. We were impressive. We should have probably won handsomely, but we lacked a little bit of a clinical edge at times. But yeah, by and large, clean sheet and a win, 3 points. So very happy.
Okay, there is a little bit of a bite to this game because of what happened in 2018. Middlesbrough fans won't forget that one of the reasons that you aren't currently in the Premier League is because of Derby County. To the point where you were going to sue them before Mel Morris decided to settle. Where are Borough fans with this now? Is it water under the bridge? Can we all be friends, or will there be some chanting?
To be honest, I think at the time, understandably, it looked like Steve Gibson had a really big gripe. I think there was a few things. I think the Martin Weghorn transfer played a big part. But to be honest, I think in terms of Borough fans, it's done and dusted for us. But the needle still, you lads might tell me different, but the needle still appears to be there from Derby fans and from the Derby point of view. But I mean, Steve Gibson, he's always cared about things being just, and you might scoff at that a little bit, but he was actually involved in the football governance bill and had a big hand in that being passed. And what with I think the top and bottom of it was Mel Morris wanted to sell the ground to one of his subsidiaries to avoid a loss, which would have then breached the regulations.
Chris, I'll bring you in on this because I'm sure you've spent many hours in the previously talking about it. When Borough and Wickham were after you, what were your thoughts? Were you thinking it was fair enough?
I think both had cases of to be upset, but Gibson has got history in the past when he's broke many rules, and Sean will know that. I think that's what really got Derby's goat up more than anything. We go on the gentleman from Wickham. Well, I think that was just an American chap who was looking at anything to have a lawsuit. It's the American way, isn't it? To me, it's water under the bridge, and let's let the football do the talking.
Absolutely. How do you all put? I mean, Simon, where do you put Borough in your predictions for this one, for this championship? Do you put them top six or just out of it?
If they keep up the same as they did last season, I can't see why they wouldn't be in the top six. Carrick did a good job.
And Sean, how do we keep Latte quiet?
I think it's very difficult. He's a goal scorer that will get lots of different types of goals. You know, sometimes if you have a big target man, you can maybe snuff out that threat. But Latte, even for us Borough fans, sometimes you don't really know what is going to come. A solo run, a header, an explosive finish when you're caught off guard is one of those unpredictable strikers. And I think the Derby setup will be maybe looking at trying to stop that supply line. Luke Ayling got a lot of assists last season from the right-hand side, so maybe that's something that they'll look at.
Okay. Let's do some predictions before we ask you guys to comment about your goalkeeper. John, can you take the prediction for us then this week? What's the score going to be between Derby and the Borough?
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 1-0. I'd take a point in this game. And a good performance and 1-0. I would take that.
Sean, you'll be heading to Pride Park. How's it going to go?
What, Pride Park? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 for Borough.
There we go. Cool. Right, we will see how it progresses. Sean, we'll see you as the season progresses. We'll see you for the reverse fixture of this later on in the year. Thank you very much. And for the rest of you, it's time to rate your takes. Press the right button that time. Okay, Stefan says we need to back the manager. We're way short. 4 or 5. This needs sorting ASAP, or we will be straight back down to League One, and that is a fact. Peyton, do you agree with that?
I agree. I don't think Warren was the problem. I'll be honest. I thought Callum Elder is a disgrace to the football club at this point. I think the mistakes he's made in the games he's played for us, even in League One, he's been shocking. I don't think he's put a foot right. He had a 2-minute spell where he put a couple of crosses in, one as a corner, but nothing came of it. I mean, the first goal he didn't put a tackle in. The second goal he was well out of position. Third goal the same. Fourth goal the same. I mean, can't expect 2 centre halves and a right back to do the job of 5 people, you know.
Okay. Chewis, what about this one here from Jason? Deserve the equaliser. We were on top of that, should say. Cashin's third tackle should have been Osborne's, and a big Dave misplaced pass, and bang, 3-1, and the game is gone. Great debuts, togetherness, strengthening definitely required, and quickly, but optimism. Do you jump on board with all those points?
I think so. I think the key thing for me there is the optimism. I think there's not a lot of fan base who are quick to say negative things, and look, anything can happen opening day of the season. I thought there's a lot of positives I've already said. I think going back to what everyone else said today, we just need to be together. You know, this is about stability this season. It's about us staying in the Championship. If the season finished today, we'd be 20th, we'd survive. We need that optimism. We need to carry it through. There'll be some tough games this season. We need to stick together and get beyond the lads.
All right. Each week we're going to be asking you to review a position within the squad. We're going to start at the top of that with goalkeepers and give you your views on that. Thank you for 11 versus 11 for the graphics here. Simon, I'll come to you. That's okay. Are you light in relation to goalkeepers? Obviously, in terms of depth and in terms of quality, is Vickers good enough?
Yeah, so I think it's a tricky one with Vickers because it's still very raw with what he's got going on in his personal life. Like the end of last season, he lost his wife, didn't he? So I don't know if he is in the right place. And even Paul Warren said he's not the man to play. So we're in a position where we can't play anyone else because we haven't got anyone yet. We're still waiting on the new guy to come in. So I don't think he is the number one, but he's the best we've got. And that's where we have to back at the minute.
Okay. Chris, do you go along with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Josh has gone through turmoil, and I think it's praise to him that he's managed to get back on a football pitch and be a strong character as he is. What I will say is that Derby have been in for Zetterstrom for nearly 2 months, and they always knew that he was going to come in on the 15th of August. There's a lot of panic about Derby fans saying that we shouldn't be waiting, we should be getting another keeper. But the reality is a good keeper can get you 17 points in this championship, and they could be absolutely vital.
Absolutely. Okay, good stuff. Carabao Cup then this week, just to finish off with. I just want to get your views on that, if I can. Chesterfield are going to come and visit this week. Peyton, would you rather beat Chesterfield or would you rather beat Borough?
Borough, easily. I couldn't really care less about the Carabao Cup.
Okay. Simon, if I could offer you a cup now, though, and say you win it, or promotion to the Premier League this season, what would you rather have?
I'd go for the promotion.
Okay. What if the final was against Forest and you won 3-0? Would you still take promotion over that?
Oh, you'd have to throw that one in there, wouldn't you? But yeah, I'd take the promotion, mate.
Okay.
We can beat them in any game.
Okay. Fair enough then. Just finally then on the Blackburn game, John, last week we asked Peyton and Darren for their predictions of where they think Derby will finish. Based on what you have seen so far, what league position would you say Derby will finish in?
I'd like to think they'll be uncomfortably mid-table. So you're looking at the range of 7th, 15th down to 17th. I know everyone wants to win every game, but realistically, this is a work in progress this season. And it's all about continuous improvement for me.
Yeah, and if you watch Plymouth play today, that must give you some hope that you won't finish 24th.
Well, you look at that, and even like Derby, they went at they asked questions of Blackburn. Plymouth today didn't even lay a glove on West Sheffield Wednesday. So I look at their fans, and they'll be thinking, "Wow, well, look, we look at our fans on Friday, and it's positives to work on with there." So I think we're comfortable mid-table.
All right, then, and finally, Chewis, then you've got obviously this game against Borough, then it's away at Watford, and one more before the international break. How many points would you hope Derby to be on by the time we break for the international holiday?
Oh, yeah. Looking at the paper when the fixtures come out, it's a tough August. I'd say win all of them. You know, with max the points, but it's not realistically going to happen. I'd take a solid 3-4. I think realistically, with the teams we've got, 3 or 4. I think it's there or thereabouts.
Okay, we like pragmatism on this channel. Look, we'll be with you all the way as we go through it. Next week, of course, we'll have a Watford fan here to talk about your trip to Vicarage Road. Back on your travels in a week's time. I'd say enjoy the Carabao Cup, but I'm guessing you could care less about how that goes. But definitely enjoy when that first whistle kicks off on Saturday against Borough, because Derby belong in this league, and Championship football it definitely should be the level that Derby are playing at, if not higher. So we're delighted to have you back. We'll forget about Blackburn, and next week we'll be talking about 3 points against a Borough side. All right. Thanks for joining us. If you're a Derby fan, subscribe below. This is the quickest, most compact discussion on Derby throughout the internet. Follow Chris at Rams Review Podcast, and we'll also put all the Twitter links to all the teams below. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. See you in a